perfect setting for some postseason baseball. This time last year, this great ballpark, Fenway, was empty. But a new manager and a whole lot of facial hair spurred a worst-to-first turnaround that has Red Sox Nation in a frenzy. There's going to be a sea of red out there tonight. As the high-powered Cardinals come to town, the Cards look for their third championship in 8 years. Familiar foes face off. It's the Cardinals and the Red Sox, and it all starts tonight, Game 1, only on Fox. For the introduction of tonight's starting lineups, let's join public address announcer Henry Mahegan.
Now, please welcome the National League champion St. Louis Cardinals manager, number 22, Mike Matheny. And his starting lineup. Leading off, the second baseman, number 13, Matt Carpenter. Batting second, the right fielder, number 3, Carlos Beltran. Hitting third, the left fielder, number 7, Matt Holliday. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 21, Alan Craig. Batting fifth, the catcher in the bullpen, number 4, Yadier Molina. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 23, David Freese. Hitting seventh, the first baseman, number 53, Matt Adams. Batting eighth, the center fielder, number 43, Shane Robinson. Batting ninth, the shortstop, number 38, Pete Kozma. And the starting pitcher, warming up in the bullpen, number 50, Adam Wainwright. And now, your American League Championship manager, number 53, John Farrell. And his starting lineup. Leading off in center field, number 2, Jacoby Ellsbury. Batting second, in right field, number 18, Shane Victorino. Hitting third, the second baseman, number 15, Dustin Pedroia. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter, number 34, David Ortiz. Hitting fifth, the first baseman, number 12, Mike Napoli. Batting sixth, in left field, number 5, Johnny Gomes. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 72, Xander Bogaerts. Hitting eighth, the shortstop, number 7, Stephen Drew. Batting ninth, the catcher in the bullpen, number 3, David Ross. And tonight's starting pitcher, warming up in the bullpen, number 31, John Lester.
The starting lineup for the Cardinals, brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Matt Carpenter leads off at second base. Then it's Beltran, his first World Series appearance, batting second and right. Matt Holliday, Alan Craig, the DH, Yadier Molina, the catcher, David Freese, Matt Adams, the rookie first baseman, Shane Robinson gets the start in center. John Jay on the bench tonight. Pete Kozma is batting in the number 9 spot. He's the shortstop. 2-1 this postseason with a 2.33 ERA and just under 20 innings pitched.
John Lester's saying that this year he's had more fun than any other year.
Lester can bring it. Ground ball left side. Stephen Drew with a backhand wall. Home plate umpire tonight is John Hirschbeck. He's the crew chief with Mark Wegner at first. Dana DeMuth at second. Paul Emmel, Bill Miller, Jim Joyce down the right field line. It's Mike Matheny, who last year in his first year as manager of the Cardinals got St. Louis to within a win of an appearance in the World Series, and here he is year 2 at Fenway Park. Here's the 0-2. 2 out. Two up, two down. A lot of talk all day about the weather. Our weather update tonight is brought to you by Disney's Frozen. And this must be the World Series with a graphic that looks like that. It's 48 degrees. It's supposed to get colder as we go along here tonight. And that's up the middle. Matt Holliday is on with a 2-out base hit into center. Cardinals were ready here in the first inning to go up there swinging, and Holliday is aboard. That's his 12th hit of the postseason.
Beltran swinging first pitch, Holliday first pitch. You won't see that, I don't think, from the Red Sox.
First at bat at Fenway Park for Alan Craig. Waits on a 1-2. Broken bat. Easy for Pedroia after a half. Game 1, Fenway Park, World Series. The 109th World Series. There's no score. Starting lineup for Boston, brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Jacoby Ellsbury leads off in center. Shane Victorino with a slam in game 6. Bats second. Dustin Pedroia hits third. Then David Ortiz, the DH. Mike Napoli at first. Johnny Gomes in left. Xander Bogaerts, 21 years old, at third. Stephen Drew is the shortstop, batting 8th, and catching and hitting 9th is David Ross. And here's the right-hander, the leader of this staff, just inked to a new 5-year contract extension at the beginning of the year. It's Adam Wainwright.
And as we said in the opening, his height helps his curveball. He's 6'7". That's tied for the tallest pitcher in World Series history. Randy Johnson and 6'8" Doug Fister were taller than Adam. From a closer to a starter, he was a closer for the Cardinals. Helped put them into the World Series to beat the Tigers back in 2006.
It was 2-0. Now it's 3-2. Ellsbury takes a walk. Now the 1-2 from Wainwright. Line drive into left, right at Holliday. 1-on, 1 out. Victorino hit it hard, but right at number 7. Here's a 2-2. And to center field, a base hit. And it's 2 on, 1 out here in the first inning for the Red Sox in game 1. The 2-1. Can they turn it? Out at second. Now they're going to say out.
Oh, I don't think so, Joe.
I don't either.
I think the Cardinals got a huge break.
It's going to be first and third, 2 out. Let's watch.
Oh, no.
There's
Not
no
even
way.
close. No way. No way.
John Farrell is out arguing with the second base umpire. That's Dana DeMuth. And DeMuth's call immediately was that Cosma dropped it, taking the ball out of his glove. He never had it.
No chance. Nope. Immediately, John Farrell comes out to argue the play. That's something, by the way, you cannot review. I think John Farrell is asking Dana DeMuth to get help. That's a huge difference. Instead of the bases loaded and 1 out, it's first and third and 2 out.
Here it is, regular speed. The umpires are getting together. And you could see John Farrell saying, that's all I'm asking. He's asking for help. The question is, will one of these umpires overrule Dana DeMuth with that call at second base?
That's right. And they should. Next year, of course, would be challenging that play, because replay in baseball will change dramatically for the 2014 season.
Well, if they change this call, then it'll be Mike Matheny out to argue.
Right.
Farrell standing there on the infield watching this meeting. And again, it's either first and third, 2 out, or bases loaded, 1 out, with Napoli coming up. And they're going to put the runner back. And here comes Mike Matheny. The runner is Pedroia. The bases are going to be loaded with 1 out. And we've got controversy here before we've even settled in.
Well, the umpires got the play right. There is no way that Cosma is taking the ball out of the glove. Off the end of the glove. The ball is never in the pocket.
In the rule book, it says release is supposed to be voluntary and intentional. And there's the reaction of Yadier Molina as the umpires got together and overruled the call of the veteran umpire Dana DeMuth at second base.
Yeah, he never caught the ball. It was off leather, but off the webbing of the glove. Never in the webbing.
Have you ever seen, I'll ask you this, have you ever seen in your experience umpires getting together to overrule on that specific play?
No.
I have not either. And I think that would be Matheny's argument here. They get the call right, but to overrule in this case, when clearly DeMuth had a clear look at the play, as opposed to somebody having a better look, I think that's what Mike Matheny would argue.
Yeah, and what else are you going to overrule in this series? That would be Mike's argument. If you overrule that, then you're opening up Pandora's box. But clearly, that was not in the act of throwing to first base.
There's 5 of us out here, okay? And all 5 of us say we are 100% sure that that was not a catch. Well, our job is to get it right.
And they did get it right. The Cardinals had the second best fielding percentage in the National League defensively during the regular season. That is just their 4th error of this postseason. Second for Cosma. Here's a 2-0. That is into left center field. Down to the wall. 1 run scores. Here comes Pedroia. Here comes Ortiz. 3-0 Boston in the first.
Was on the Texas Rangers in 2011 when the Cardinals came back to win that series. Mike Napoli has said since then that he's thought about it every day. Good way to erase that memory with 3 RBIs and a double for Napoli here in the first.
And Big David Ortiz made it all the way around from first. Napoli with that headbutt, as we've seen him do this postseason with Arnie Baylor. So a 3-0 Red Sox lead here in the first inning. He's more than just a good luck charm as he grounds one to Adams, who goes to the bag. 2 out. Over to third is Napoli. The 2-2, a strikeout ends the inning, but not before big damage. And a little controversy here in the first inning of game 1. Initially called and out. The reversal of the call. Napoli did the damage. 3-0 Boston after 1 in game 1.
Things in the game to do because your first responsibility is with your pitching staff.
Strikeout starts the second, and Molina wheels his way out of there.
That's that cutter on the outside part. We talked about the Cardinals having to make John Lester use the middle of the plate to get guys out. That was a wicked cutter to get Molina. A strike also.
He chipped in game 7. That's strike 3.
Same pitch. A little higher than the one to Molina. Look at David Ross sitting outside. That's a cut fastball from Lester, and he is sharp this inning.
2 out, nobody on. A shift on the infield for Matt Adams, who hits right into it and right into the lap of Pedroia after an inning and a half. Game 1, Fenway Park. 3-0 Red Sox.
3-2 curveball.
Jammed him. On the mound, Adam Wainwright says, everybody stay away, and it drops.
How do you have the wherewithal to smile as Wainwright did? You know, it's almost taboo in baseball when a pitcher calls for a pop-up. But, I mean, come on. This is Wainwright's ball. Molina's got too far to go with the ball. The ball didn't have enough hang time for Adams or Freeze to come in and make the play. They were playing too deep. So Wainwright is the guy who should make the call, but pitchers never make calls like that.
They're trying to restart, get the momentum back. Some teams have trouble doing that. Here's one that's in the center field for a base hit. Off the bat of David Ross, and it's 2 on with nobody out here in the second.
The nuances of baseball. You know, Carpenter, in order to play, to cheat for the double play, has to play in and over. And by playing in, he just misses. The ball hit off the end of the bat by Ross. Nobody on first, he might catch that ball. To say that things are not going the Cardinals' way is understating it.
Runners on at first and second. Good speed at the plate. That's into shallow left. Holiday coming on for out number 1. And Ellsbury does not advance the runners.
He's been hit 20 times since August 4th. 20. That includes 5 times in the postseason.
Left side in the hole. Cosma boots it, and the bases are loaded. Don't know if he had a play, even if he comes up with it. But for a guy who dropped a toss back in the first inning, it's been a shaky start for Cosmo.
Joe, he perhaps would have had a play at third, but David Freese went for the ball in the hole also. David Ross, on the other hand, is running at first base, so maybe he would have had a chance at Ross at second, but doubtful.
Cosmo is the Cardinals' best defensive shortstop on their roster. It's an error. 3-2 pitch. Left side. Base hit. 1 run scores. That's Drew. They hold Ross, and it's 4-0 Red Sox here in the second.
Adam Wainwright has thrown 2 3-2 curveballs. He walked Ellsbury with 1 in the first, and now Pedroia. This Red Sox team coming out, they are not fooled by the Wainwright curveball thus far.
And instead of Derek Lilliquist, the pitching coach for the Cardinals, it's Mike Matheny out to talk to the infielders and to Wainwright here in the second. That riding fastball, and now he has Ortiz at 1 and 2. Ripped into right. Back is Beltran at the wall. It is caught. A run scores as Beltran took a grand slam away. What a catch by Carlos Beltran in right, in the most nonchalant fashion, to take a grand slam away from Beltran. Something Torrey Hunter tried to do in Game 2 of the ALCS.
Boy, did that blast elicit what happened 10 days ago. A week before this past Sunday. Beltran with the catch. 5-0 Red Sox, but the crowd here, if anybody was at that game, Game 2 of the LCS, they had a lot of thoughts about going back to that. I don't know where the wall is. So Beltran almost ran into it prematurely, and it looks like he may have bruised his chest in the process.
So because of that catch in right, instead of an 8-0 game, it's a 5-0 game, and Beltran still trying to get loose after hitting that wall out in right field. Now the next to Napoli is grounded back to Wainwright, makes the stop, the out at first, and in the inning, Boston gets 2. Hunter came close in Game 2 of the ALCS. Tonight, Game 1 of the World Series, Beltran made the catch up against the wall, reaching over. 5-0 Boston after 2. The 0-2. Checking on Drew, gets a true hop and gets the out. Into the top part of the wall and right. And a guy in his first World Series game after a brilliant career will get looked at. The 22-year-old Michael Wacha tomorrow night. Then Joe Kelly, then Lance Lynn. It's not so clear cut for Boston going forward. Here's a 2-2. Cosmo pops it up. Napoli in foul ground now. Fair territory has it. 2 out.
He knows how to handle pitchers better, generally speaking, than guys who played in the infield, outfield. The exception to that is a guy who is a catcher like Mike Matheny.
Meanwhile, John Jay has come into the on-deck circle with Beltran, the next scheduled hitter. So clearly there was an injury out and right on that catch as Carpenter strikes out, and that's 4 on the night for John Lester. As we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning at Fenway, leads the Cardinals 5-0. The first World Series game for Carlos Beltran lasts through 2 innings. Here's the 0-2 to Gomes. Popped up, right side, foul ball. Adams has a play, 1 out. Talk about that wall. It hits a right fielder in an awkward spot. This is Victorino, May 12th, and his hand and wrist bothered him for the next couple of months. There's Torrey Hunter out in right center in game 2 of the ALCS, and then moments ago. And in Carlos Beltran's first appearance in right field at Fenway Park, made a great catch, but he's out, and who knows for how long. Xander Bogaerts now with 1 out, nobody on. Hard hit and caught by Cosmo. I think he got 2 outs on that one play.
Double play, huh?
He made the catch in the air. Matt Carpenter made the call, the second baseman, but just to be sure, Cosmo threw on to first, 2 out. Here's what the Cardinals are missing without Beltran. Out in center field, you see the numbers. The T-Mobile player profile, brought to you by T-Mobile. Nationwide data is going global with coverage in over 100 countries at no extra charge. Career slugging percentage in the postseason for Beltran, 3rd highest all time. He is out. We continue here in game 1 as we slip into the 4th inning. Cardinals batting down by 5. Second round pick back in 2002, came up in 2006. Battled non-Hodgkin's lymphoma that season into 2007. Second World Series appearance. He was on the mound when the Red Sox finished their sweep of the Rockies in 07. That's a leadoff walk.
That's why you don't throw a breaking ball 2-2 to get the count to 3-2 when you haven't thrown that many and you've got a 5-run lead. Matt Holliday, from a baseball family, his father Tom, who used to be the coach at Oklahoma State, is now the pitching coach at North Carolina State and could produce the #1 draft choice next June. Young man by the name of Carlos Rodon, 6'3", left-handed pitcher.
2-2. Strikeout for out number 1. And the 5th of the night for John Lester.
Good breaking ball used at the right time. Holliday way out in front. 5th strikeout for Lester.
Matt's dad, Tom, was the head coach at Oklahoma State, and for 5 years, Holliday's dad, Tom, had a pitching coach by the name of John Farrell. The 2-2. Up the middle, that's a base hit. Jay will stop at second, 2 on, 1 out on a base hit by Alan Craig.
Well, you talk about plate coverage. That ball was about 4 inches outside. Alan Craig hits a lot. He gets a lot of base hits up the middle. Stephen Drew diving for it, can't get to it. Hits it with one hand off the plate away up the middle.
Molina, who led the National League in innings caught, despite missing time with a bad knee on the disabled list. First half of the season, there was no bigger threat at the plate. And he grounds one left side through, base hit. Jay will hold at third, and the bases are loaded with 1 out.
When you're trailing by 5 runs, your whole game changes.
Here comes a 2-1. Back to Lester. Throws home, out, down to first. Got him both. And the biggest scoring chance for the Cardinals so far tonight in game 1 turns into a 1-2-3 inning-ending double play. 5-0 Red Sox after 3.5. And then the umpires got together. A strikeout ends the inning, or starts the inning. Joe Torre is nice enough to stop in with Ken Rosenthal. And we'll give that to you after Ellsbury does something here with 1 out, nobody on. Joe Torre now with Major League Baseball. He's the Executive Vice President of Baseball Operations. As this ball is fouled, let's go down to Kenny now. Ken?
Joe, I know you have not spoken with the umpires yet, but as you understand it, why was the call overturned?
Well, Kenny, I'm sitting on the home side of the field, and I noticed what had happened. And when I know it's going to be overturned, or they're going to talk about it, whether it's overturned or not, is that the umpires sort of collapse on, they did on Dana. So that lets them know, because that's a sign they have with each other. If nobody has anything different, they'll stay back at their positions. But once they start collapsing on the umpire that's involved in the call, that means they're going to huddle. And, when they huddle, you got more eyes on the play.
Now, how unusual is it for a play like that to be reversed?
I don't think it's that unusual. The umpires have been doing the huddling a lot more. And I know there are some plays that I'm asked, why don't they huddle? Well, that's the reason they don't, is because they don't get a sign from the other umpires. Just because they don't leave their position and talk about it doesn't mean that they're not communicating.
Last question. Replay is coming. If replay had been in effect right now tonight, how would this play have unfolded?
Well, you know what, Kenny, that's what we're still talking about. We're discussing about the huddling, because when you have replay, we're just really discussing whether it's necessary or not.
Joe, thanks a lot.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Popped up. Shallow center. Jay is there. And it's a 1-2-3 inning, second in a row, put together by Wainwright. 5-0 after 4. Back after this from your local Fox station. Matt Adams does something to start this fifth. Cardinals had the bases loaded last inning. Here's a line drive into left, and a diving catch by Gomes. One away.
Johnny Gomes made one of these in the LCS against Detroit. Good play by Gomes. Left field at Fenway, you can afford to play shallow. A ball over your head, it's up against the wall. That's a ball that playing in St. Louis probably wouldn't have been caught. But here, good play Gomes.
John Farrell telling us there's just something different about our team when that guy is one of the starting 9. Here's an opportunity for him to pick up a ground ball on a base hit by Shane Robinson. First question to John Farrell was about the way John Lester is pitching tonight.
You know what? He got his curveball involved a little bit earlier than maybe in some recent starts, but it's been a good off-speed pitch for him. They were aggressive coming out right, swinging, some first-pitch fastballs, and then he's also had a pretty good backdoor cutter to some right-handers. In the first inning, take us back to what you said when you went out there after that call at second base. Initially, an out called on the ball that wasn't corralled by Cosmo. Joe, the one thing that we saw from the dugout here was that, you're accepting of the neighborhood play to a certain extent. But in that situation, he was blindsided. I thought, Cosmo was with Pedroia going into second base, and a throw went off the fingertips of his glove, so there really wasn't any control from my vantage point. I just asked Dana DeMuth if he could confer with the other guys on the infield, and you know what? It looks like they got the call right. Yeah, and to their credit, and there's been an evolution in this game. When umpires get together, it's nice to see them gather and then get it correct. Yeah, there's no doubt. I think anybody involved in the game, that's all we're asking for. And to their credit, as you said, they did get together and got the call right. John, thanks for your time. Okay, guys.
It's a very difficult position to master. It's more of a natural instinct to play the left side of the infield.
That's into left field. That ball is going to get down for a base hit. Gomes drops it. The runner Robinson to third. He is there, and down to second is Carpenter.
Boy, that is a sensational play by Shane Robinson. He rounded the bag. He had stopped. He saw Gomes drop the ball. It's going to be an error on Gomes. We talked about how you're in your base running. You've got to be a lot more cautious when you trail by 5. A lot of guys wouldn't have tried that, and Robinson just makes it. Once he stops, usually it's tough to get started again, but he does and makes it.
The 2-2. Up the middle. Drew charging. Got the out. And Lester strains 2 more. Cardinals have left 5. We're halfway through game number 1. Red Sox coming up, leading 5-0. That Gets into the right field corner. Robinson, nice catch for out number 1.
Boy, what a good play by Shane Robinson. That ball hit by Pedroia, tailing away from him. Well, had that ball gotten by him, that is real trouble. 3, maybe 4. Shane casting caution to the wind to make a nice play.
Yeah, that ball gets past Robinson and starts circling around out in right field.
Yeah, right.
Pedroia might have been able to circle the bases, and Adam Wainwright appreciates that effort. He flashes the signs with a count 1-2. That's in the center, base hit. 1 on, 1 out with Napoli coming up. Seth Maness, the right-hander, is getting loose. As we play in the bottom of the 5th, here's a little more about Mike Napoli. Born in Hollywood, Florida. 6 straight seasons with 20 or more home runs. And it's been since the middle of spring training in March since he last shaved his face. Off the end of the bat, Wainwright gets the out at second and safe at first. So the force out at second with Wainwright throwing off balance to Cosma, 2 out.
Rather athletic play by good athlete. Adam Wainwright safe at first is Napoli.
Gomes 2 for 12 now in his career against Wainwright. That's in the hole, the out at second, and sends game 1 into the 6th inning. Gomes 0 for 3 tonight. Cardinals will have the heart of their lineup to the plate, down by 5. And Matt Holliday is first up. Pitch number 79 from Lester's into right. Victorino is there. 1 pitch, 1 out. In 21 innings. That's strike 3, and that's out number 2. And strikeout number 6 for John Lester.
Cutter on the outside corner.
Won game 1 of the division series against Tampa Bay. Lost game 1 of the ALCS. Won game 5. Here's his 2-2. Molina pops it up. Napoli is there, and Lester is strong through 6. Red Sox coming to the plate. Still leading 5-0. John Axford, the new Cardinal pitcher, hits the outside corner, strike 1 with a fastball. Axford, the former closer for Milwaukee, picked up at the end of August by John Mozeliak, Cardinal general manager, leading 5-0 tonight. Strikeout starts the inning. 1 away in the 6th. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Axford pulled the string, and Stephen Drew strikes out, 2 out. 2-2. Struck him out, and Axford strikes out the side in his first inning of work. Let's go to the 7th inning. Game 1 of the World Series. 5-0. Back after this. No runs allowed on 5 hits. Strikeout starts the inning. 1 away at strikeout number 7.
That fastball in and out to the right-handed batters of the Cardinals. Very effective tonight.
8-2 here at home this season. That's to the shortstop position, fielded by Bogarts for out number 2. Here's another 0-2. How about John Lester tonight? total control. He has struck out 8 and allowed no runs on 5 hits and leads 5-0. It's the new pitcher, 3rd of the night, Randy Choate. There are the numbers for this matchup left-hander. You've got the right-handed hitters coming up the next 2, and more action for the Cardinals out in their bullpen. Manus was up earlier. We may see him. Here's a 2-hopper to Carpenter, 1 out. That's it for Choate. His night is finished. Victorino is coming up. Manus is coming in. Seth Manus takes over. He is a ground ball producing machine as he hits the bottom part of the strike zone to Shane Victorino. He is jammed, and it's caught by big Matt Adams at first. 2 out.
Well-timed play by Adams from Slippery Rock University. Does not slip here. Good play.
Way off the line, and the reach for the out. There's Pedroia. A chopper to third. Freeze gets the high hop and makes an error. And the Cardinals defensively have been sloppy here in game 1.
2 errors on Pete Cosma, the shortstop, and now 1 on David Freeze. An easy play in between hop for Adams. Careless night for the Cards with the gloves.
And as you said early, it's not typical.
No, it's not.
For this Cardinal team. It's an error on Freeze, his 2nd of the postseason. That means Manus is out. Segrist is coming in, with Ortiz coming up as the 7th inning continues here at Fenway. Draft pick by the Cardinals. Former starter in the minor leagues. He has blossomed into a shutdown left-hander. It's his first look at it. The rookie can bring it. Mid-90s. Ortiz gets under it to right. Will it carry? At the wall, it's gone. 7-0. Red Sox lead in game 1. Another postseason home run for David Ortiz. He was ready for the Segrist heat.
High fastball right around the letters. It could have been, were it not for Carlos Beltran, his 2nd home run of the night. As Beltran made a nice play going over the fence and pulling back what would have been a home run with the bases loaded.
20.
The thing about Ortiz, even at that age.
Here's a 2-2 to Napoli. That's hard hit to center, but Jay is there, and the inning is over. An error extended the inning. And then Big Papi thrills the fans here at Fenway yet again. John Lester back to the hill as we go to the 8th inning. All Red Sox tonight. They lead 7-0 in game 1. Cosmo waits for a 3-2 and grounds to Stephen Drew. Gobbles it up, gets the out, 1 away. 8 in a row retired by John Lester, 1 on the 8th. Carlos Martinez, they call him Baby Pedro, is getting loose for St. Louis out in their bullpen. 1 out, nobody on. The 2-1 has popped up. Shallow left center. Ellsbury is there. He takes charge. 2 out.
As a matter of fact, Joe, I can't come into this ballpark without thinking of the 1999 All-Star Game, started by Pedro Martinez, and the honor and homage paid to the great one and only Teddy Ball Game, Ted Williams.
And Lester's finished, and they'll let him hear it here at Fenway. Saluted by the fans. Welcomed back to the dugout by his teammates. He's now pitched 13 1/3 scoreless innings in World Series play. Went 5 2/3 scoreless in Colorado, Game 4 in 2007. You ought to be awfully proud. J.O. for 1 with a walk and a ground out. Tozawa, part of the big three at the back end of the bullpen for Boston. Tozawa, Breslow, and Uehara. Dempster gets loose. The matchup of the two #1 starters, Lester outpitched Wainwright. Inside corner, struck him out. Lester applauds as these fans were applauding him all night long. Bottom of the 8th rolls in Game 1. Red Sox will bat up by 7. Carlos Martinez just turned 22 toward the end of September from the Dominican Republic. You see the numbers during this postseason. For Game 3 on Saturday in St. Louis. Here's one into left. Into the corner. It takes a hop and bangs around before Holiday can get it back in. And Daniel Nava, who hit 300 plus during the regular season and has found his way to the bench in favor of him, Johnny Gomes, lately in the postseason, just steps off the bench and hits a double.
And nothing but good words by John Farrell for a man who is understanding like Daniel Nava is. Now think about this. You're 8th in the American League in hitting, and you have Johnny Gomes, a right-handed hitter, hitting in front of you or playing in front of you, playing 6 games, 6 of the 10 prior to this game. And you accept it. So these Red Sox are teaming with team players. So aware.
He's just not scared at all of the big stage.
He's just so aware of things around him. Just can't say enough about this young man. From the island of Aruba.
That goes back to the backstop, and over to third goes Nava with nobody out.
That might have been a cross-up right there. Molina looked like he was waiting for the local. He got the express, and when you're catching a guy like Carlos Martinez, that can be terrifying. Watch Molina. He had no idea that fastball was coming.
Nava at third, nobody out. Already 7-0. Boston on top. Well hit on a line, and Holiday for a sac fly. Nava can walk home, and Bogarts has got his first postseason RBI. And you can bet number 72 will be in the lineup tomorrow night against Michael Walker. And
you can bet he'll have a different number next year. It won't be the stratospheric 72. Be something in the 30s or 40s, I would think. He's earned that.
A double, a wild pitch, a sac fly. Here's Stephen Drew. Here's a ground ball right side. Adams to the bag. He was a rookie in 04, was the primary catcher in 06. 2011, now 2013. Ross flies to right. And it's a run in the 8th inning for the Red Sox on their way to a Game 1 victory here in the World Series into the 9th. 8-0 Boston. Daniel Nava stays in the game. He's in left. And Ryan Dempster takes over on the mound after Tozawa got the final out in the 8th.
Trevor Rosenthal, the closer for the Cardinals, who's turned in to be the closer, is so overpowering. That's why we said earlier that closers on both teams.
Here's one into left center, well hit. Back at the wall, it's gone. A home run for Holiday, and the Cardinals are on the board. It's 8-1. Third postseason home run for Matt Holliday this year. That ball was pounded into left center.
Matt putting all of his 245 pounds behind that one. Over the Boston Be Strong sign in left center field. Hit a ton fastball. game against Verlander. It was the only run scored in the ball game. That was game 3.
Craig pops it up. Out is Pedroia. In comes Victorino. 1 out. The batter will be Molina, who's 1 for 3. A new manager in John Farrell, who spent 2 years in Toronto. Ben Cherington, the general manager, what a job he's done constructing this team after a last place finish last year. That's Pedroia. 2 out. Cherington got rid of over $240 million worth of contracts in the trade last year with the Dodgers. Here is a 2-2. Into right, base hit. Victorino safe as Freese just beat the throw.
By sliding. Feet first. Victorino plays a shallow right field, and with David Freese, before the series is over, he could be burned playing too shallow because Freese has great power the other way. Just safe as Freese. Better shot. Oof.
Napoli, he was ready for the throw, and safe is the call by Mark Wegner. Dempster thought the game was over. Red Sox win game 1. Dempster getting the final outs. A big night for David Ortiz, who drove home 3 and almost had his second grand slam of this postseason. 8-1 is the final in a 3-hour, 17-minute game 1. Napoli with a big swing in the first inning, unloaded the bases with a 3-run double against Wainwright. First-year manager John Farrell giving high fives. Second-year manager Mike Matheny was watching the celebration, and he peels away and goes back into the Cardinal clubhouse as the Red Sox are up 1-0, and down we go to Kenny Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Dustin, John Lester tonight, 7 2/3 scoreless. What made him so good?
He was locating both sides of the plate. His cutter's so tough, and when he goes away to righties and locates the way he does, I mean, it's pretty impressive tonight.
The play in the first inning, the play that was overturned. What did you think when you were called out at second base?
Well, I was just trying to slide in there and try to break up 2, and kind of saw, it wasn't on the transfer. But, I mean, he calls you out. You got to run off the field, but glad they got it right.
How surprised were you that they overturned it?
I don't know. I was just sitting there with my stuff on. I mean, they got a lot of, great umpires out here. I mean, there's a lot of them. So, they put their heads together and try to get it right. That's the best way to do things.
Last thing, Dustin. 2007 was your last World Series. How much fun is it being back?
Yeah, it's a blast. We're the last 2 teams playing. We played both teams that played their tails off all year long to get to this point. So you got to have fun and enjoy it and play the best you can.
Dustin, thanks a lot. Over to Aaron Andrews.
Kenny, thanks so much. Poppy, first let me ask you about the call that was overturned. We saw how it affected the Cardinals. How did it affect you guys?
Well, it was pretty obvious that it wasn't in a transfer. It seems like he missed the ball, and the umpire got the right call, and we got some momentum going on.
Momentum for you at the plate tonight. A nice night, 3 RBI, a home run, almost a grand slam out there. What was the difference for you at the plate?
Nothing, just like I said before, in that one series against the Tiger, I didn't get that many hits, but I was putting some good swing on the ball, and I just stick with my plan.
What was your reaction when you saw Carlos Beltran come up with that ball back there?
We keep on playing. You know, we got, at least we got an RBIs, and it was a good situation. We was up by 4, and we continue the momentum.
Poppy, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Joe, back over to you.
All right, so the celebration after Game 1 down on that field here at Fenway Park. An 8-1 final. Boston wins it. It started with this reversal of a call at second base, and then the Red Sox, like all good teams do, took advantage. And they got the performance that John Lester could have hoped for coming into Game 1. He gets the win. So does Boston. Final 8-1.